The storm desk. Read the storm, book the roofs. It's December, the board looks full, and you feel rich. Then payroll lands, the supplier wants December paid, and the account is thin. Half the jobs slide into January as unfinished work and stale estimates nobody chased. A full board is not a finished year. By the end of this, you'll know how to triage the backlog, get the cash in, set a hard start rule, schedule honest around the cold, and walk into January with a real pipeline. We finished the right work. Tactic 1. Triage the backlog before anything else. A single unsorted list is the most expensive thing in the office because it hides risk. The job waiting on one customer decision looks identical to the job 3 weeks from material, so sort it into plain buckets. Ready. Customer decision. Material. Permit. Weather sensitive. Defer to January. Every open job lands in exactly one bucket, and every blocked job gets one owner and one next action. A remembered job is the one that surfaces in January as an angry voicemail. Watch the stale but sold jobs hardest. A signed contract from October can carry dead assumptions. A discontinued shingle color. A customer who left town for the holidays. Signed is not ready. Ready means the office, the crew, and the customer share the same picture of scope, access, material, and timing. And the verbal yes with no signature is the classic December trap. Sales counts it as backlog. Production can't schedule it. Move it to customer decision with one ask. Get the signature or get a no. Tactic 2. Protect cash before you chase more volume. A roofing company can have a fat backlog and an empty bank account at the same time because backlog is not cash. So run the boring pass. Know which completed jobs aren't billed. Know which invoices are aging past 30, 60, 90 days. The Small Business Administration says it plain. Manage cash flow, keep the books current, stay on taxes. Most of what's owed to a roofer is not in dispute. It's just unchased. Sort receivables oldest first and work them before December 31st. Collections in construction have a backstop most trades don't. The mechanic's lien, a legal claim against the property for unpaid work. The lien rights are creatures of state statute, and the deadlines are unforgiving. Many states require a preliminary notice and early heads-up filing before you can ever lien. California wants it inside 20 days of first furnishing. Miss the window by a day and the right is gone, and so is the leverage. This is orientation, not legal advice. For any large unpaid job, check your filing dates before the holidays bury the office. Tactic 3. Write a hard rule for what's allowed to start before December 31st. The shops that finish strong stop arguing job by job. A job may target year-end completion only if the scope is signed, materials are confirmed, access is known, crew capacity exists, weather risk is manageable, payment terms are clear, and documentation is assigned. Miss anyone, it doesn't start in December. When a job moves, log the reason in one line. If half your deferrals say material, your ordering is too late. Tactic 4. Schedule around the cold, honestly, not hopefully. Winter scheduling fails when a shop pretends every day is equally buildable. The material won't let you. Asphalt shingles get brittle near freezing, and their self-sealing strips are thermally activated. They need sun and warmth to bond. The Asphalt Roofing Manufacturers Association recommends installing standard shingles at roughly 40 degrees or above. Below that, you hand seal with approved roofing cement so the roof resists wind blow-off until it warms up, and you tell the customer in writing, modified shingles run colder, but follow the product instructions. Cold is also a safety problem. OSHA has no dedicated cold weather standard, but the general duty clause still applies, and a winter roof stacks hazards. Cold stress, slips on ice, and falls. Train the crew on frostbite and hypothermia. Enforce fall protection at height. And respect the worst trap in winter roofing. Near-invisible frost on a deck looks like a dry surface. Wait until the deck is clear, even when the schedule is screaming. And schedule the quarter at 70 to 80% of fair weather capacity, so a lost day reshuffles the calendar instead of breaking it. Tactic 5. Tighten customer communication and keep your claims language legal. Set a cadence per job. Ready jobs get scheduling updates. Block jobs get one ask. Completed jobs get closeout docs. Now the line, and it's not subtle. If any year-end work is storm or insurance-related, you document conditions and write an estimate. The insurer decides coverage. You do not handle, negotiate, fight, or maximize the claim. You never offer to waive or cover the deductible. That's fraud in many states. The day you negotiate coverage, you're an unlicensed public adjuster. Document, don't diagnose. Tactic 6. Close documentation gaps before the crew leaves the roof. Reconstruct a December job in late January, and you'll chase photos nobody took and approvals nobody wrote down. So give the crew a closeout checklist before they start. Sign scope on file. Every change order written and approved. Dated photos, before, during, and after, on each roof plane. Punch list resolved or written with an owner and a date. The IRS wants records that support income and expenses, kept organized. For a roofer, those records also resolve disputes and tell you what's on that roof years later. Tactic 7. Reconcile estimates, change orders, and invoices job by job. This is an operations review wearing a bookkeeping costume, and it's where roofers quietly leak margin. Underbilling beats overbilling because a crew solves a problem in the field, a chimney flashing nobody priced, and the office never hears it. So walk each job. What was sold? What changed? Who approved it? Has billing caught up? Do it while the crew still remembers, because a foreman in December can tell you why a job ran long. In February, that knowledge is gone. Tactic 8. Make smart year-end equipment and tax moves with your accountant. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, signed July 2025, raised the Section 179 expensing limit to $2.5 million and restored full bonus depreciation for qualifying assets placed in service after January 19, 2025. The load-bearing phrase is placed in service. A truck on the dealer lot December 31st is not. A truck you've put to work is. But don't buy gear you don't need to chase a deduction. Confirm the rules with a tax professional first. Tactic 9. Build a real January pipeline, not a cold lead pile. The jobs you can't finish in December aren't failures. They're next quarter's revenue, if you set them up before the office goes quiet. Every deferred job needs 4 things: an owner, a next action, a date, a reason. Call in January is not a task. Send the revised scope after the customer's photos by January 8th, Maria. That's a task the next person can run. And the cheapest work in January is the estimate you wrote in spring that never closed. Here's where RoofPredict fits, and where it doesn't. Work in that old book, you don't want to call every name on the list. RoofPredict pairs an estimated roof age range with the storm history a given roof has actually taken, so it points your January calls at the streets and old estimates most likely worth the drive. It does not inspect the roof, diagnose damage, or decide coverage. Roof age is a range for planning, not an exact date. The list aims the follow-up. The inspection earns the job. Tactic 10. Run an honest Q4 review while the bruises are fresh. Look at the jobs that went smooth and the jobs that hurt. Backlog accuracy, schedule disruptions, documentation gaps, billing delays, safety, weather. But the review has to produce changes, or it's theater. Add a weather buffer field to the estimate template. Require the final photo upload before a job is marked complete. Adopt the written December 31st start rule. Keep it structural, not personal. When a problem traces to unclear ownership, you fix the process. Close the year that way, and December built you a cleaner operating system. Finish the right work. That's the year end.